Shirley has confessed to almost everything I've thrown at her, but she's refused to give me the location of Charlotte May. I hope to God she's still alive. It's out of my hands and up to Catherine now. I've reached the end of my investigation. But at what cost? I promised Mr. Morgan I'd return this brooch when I found Charlotte May. The news of Shelley's arrest will have to do for now. Now that all's said and done, I suppose I should tidy all this away. They were all innocent. Everyone apart from Shirley. How did she manage to hide who she really was from everyone? Even her sister. I was hoping to return to Mr. Morgan with his daughter. Not this hollow gesture. I used to roam these halls and wonder what kind of neighbors lived around me. Now I know all too well. How will Mr. Morgan take the news, I wonder? He's been through enough. No sign of Catherine, though. She's not coming.
Hello, Mr. Conway.
Mr. Morgan, how are you?
As well as can be expected, I suppose. I have to say, I wasn't expecting you so soon.
I apologize. I thought you might want an update regarding Shirley Downs.
Of course, yes. Why don't you step inside for a moment and, well, please come in. You can leave your things down there if you like.
Thank you.
Please. You were saying?
Yes. In short, it went well.
She confessed?
Well, not to all of it, but I have reason to believe she's confessing right now in police custody. She confessed to hitting you over the head and to pretending she was attacked. We found the weapon and, well, the list goes on.
What about my daughter?
She refused to admit it. She was adamant.
But you said she confessed to hitting me.
Well, there's more to the story, I'm afraid. She swears blind that she thought she was hitting Harold Levy.
What? Okay, I don't know what that means.
I agree. It doesn't make any sense.
Where is my daughter, Mr. Conway?
Mr. Morgan, I won't stop until I find her.
I'm sorry. That was unfair of me.
I understand, and it's me who has to apologize. I told you I would find your daughter, and until now I've failed you in that matter.
I don't blame you. You've done all you can. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Please, come and sit through here. Perhaps you'd like a cup of tea, Mr. Conway. It's 1 sugar, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Please, make yourself at home. I'll be back momentarily.
Thank you, I will. How long have you lived in Dahlia View? Must have been before I moved here.
Yes, about 4 years or so. I remember the day you moved here. I should have introduced myself then. I'm sorry about that.
Not to worry. I should have done the same. Oh, that reminds me. I've brought the brooch back that I found at the crime scene.
Thank you so much. I hope it was of some use.
What on earth? This isn't Charlotte May. It's a different girl altogether. Wearing Charlotte May's brooch. Another girl. Jesus, what is this? Mr. Morgan, what have you done? Come on.
I said I hope the brooch was of some use.
Yes. I mean, no. I wasn't able to connect it to anything.
Is everything okay, Mr. Conway? You seem a little out of sorts.
Yes, I'm fine. I don't think I'll have that tea after all. I'm sorry to put you out, but I remembered I have to hand over all of my findings to Catherine. She'll probably be waiting for me.
She was 6 when that picture was taken.
Is that so?
Such an innocent age, wouldn't you say? Charlotte wouldn't have known what real danger was back then. Not like you and I.
Well, we all have to grow up at some point, don't we? You'll excuse me, but I really must be.
Are you sure you're okay, Mr. Conway? I can't help but feel your discomfort. Is it something I've done?
Like I said, I'm probably keeping Catherine waiting, is all.
You know, I thought that I was careful enough, but the way you think, you really are very clever, Mr. Conway. To your detriment. It's funny. I spent the past few days wondering who on earth would attack me. I was as confused as everyone else. Turns out it was all just a misunderstanding. Have you ever heard anything so unlikely? I was going to leave town that night. I'd left her in Doe's basement. Things were almost in place. I was putting the rubbish out, and then... well... and then Shirley Downs.
She's still alive, isn't she?
I really am glad you decided to investigate. The mystery was eating me up inside. You know, I watched you work these past few days. Watched as you pulled our neighbours' lives apart piece by piece. Getting to work with you at Shirley's pub and seeing you before that at Lady Doe's house. It was very exciting. It's funny, I felt that if I could just reach out. Of course, I couldn't.
From what I remember, you reached out with your fist.
You almost caught me that night, you know, in Lady Doe's basement. You were so close, but still so far. You know, I've never had to go back and check before. But after you promised me you'd find her, I had to think on my feet. She cried when she saw me. I suppose she was seeing me for the first time in many ways.
She? You mean the girl that, some other poor child you've taken? Is she still alive? The girl? Why did you do this?
Charlotte May was 6 when she... You see, after so many years... Well, they stop looking like children, don't they?
Dear God. So she was too old to remind you of the real Charlotte May. And that's why... This really isn't your first time.
The first time I did this, my hands were shaking. I was a mess, Mr. Conway. I'd have been embarrassed just to be in your presence.
You sound as though she means nothing to you.
She means everything to me.
Have you lost your mind?
I think our little talk is over, Mr. Conway. Believe me, I don't want to do this, but you leave me no choice.
I don't think you will kill me. You didn't tie that little girl up for no reason. If you were simply a murderer, you wouldn't have left her alive down there. There has to be something more to you.
What makes you so sure?
I think you wanted to see her as Charlotte May. You wanted to believe it, right up until the end.
Well, you've got it all figured out, haven't you?
What happened to the real Charlotte May?
You have a daughter, Mr. Conway. You know how it is. It's your responsibility. Your duty to protect them, no matter what.
Tony, what happened?
I must have left the balcony door unlocked. I took my eyes off her for just a second. We lived on the 5th floor.
Tony, I'm so sorry. Perhaps we should talk about it. You can tell me about her. If you let me go, I'm sure
I don't think so, Mr. Conway. I've complimented you on your intellectual prowess. Please don't insult mine.
Fine. Where is the girl now?
She's quite safe.
Morgan. At least tell me, what's the girl's real name?
Sophie Marling, if I recall. It was all over the papers, although I tried not to look. Funny, it made the front page for a week. 1 week, Mr. Conway. Then I think some football team won a game somewhere and the world moved on. Makes you think, doesn't it?
What would the real Charlotte May think of you?
You won't speak her name again.
Do you think she'd be proud of what you've done?
Please. Stop.
What about this girl? Everyone's looking for her. You can't get away with this.
Mr. Conway, you've already arrested Shirley. No one is going to find her, and no one is going to find you. Now, please stop. You're beginning to make me rather uncomfortable.
Jesus. You wouldn't want her to remember you this way.
None of that matters. Now, please, try to keep still.
Please, don't do this. You're a reasonable man, Mr. Morgan. I know you don't want to do this.
Believe me, I've tried to change what I am, but I can't.
Mr. Morgan, I would very much like to speak with you.
For God's sake. Like father, like daughter. Not a word, Mr. Conway. The anesthesia should kick in shortly.
Hello, Mr. Morgan. I'm sorry to trouble you, but I wondered if I might speak with you and my father.
Your father? Are you expecting him?
I thought he might already be
Catherine,
here. He said he was going to talk to you about Shirley Downs. May I come in and talk through our options?
I'm
back
not
here.
sure that's a good idea.
Okay, that's fine. I can come back tomorrow.
Please help me.
You know what? With everything that's going on, I'm not...
Please don't hurt her.
I think that would be a good idea. Tomorrow morning. Lunchtime, perhaps.
If you
It's
think
him.
it can wait until
It's
then.
him.
I'm sorry to bother you so late.
Please, don't apologise. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Wait,
What is it?
if you haven't seen my father, then why is his camera in the house? And his bag? Mr. Morgan?
Do you know where Catherine is? Catherine!
Dad, are you okay?
I'm fine. Thank God you are. I thought the worst.
I did too. What happened here? I mean, what on earth did I walk into?
If I'm honest, I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Shirley was telling the truth.
It appears so.
We searched the house. We'd ruled him out.
Is he...
No, he's alive. He's been taken to the station. We want to know if he's done this before.
I'm afraid you won't like the answer.
Oh my God. That could have been you.
It could have been either one of us.
Dad, listen,
No, Catherine, I'm sorry.
I am too. It's funny, I came back tonight because part of me knew I should have listened to you, but I just wanted to prove to myself that I didn't need any help.
The apple hasn't fallen far from the tree. I need to ask, did you find Charlotte May? Is she...
Follow me. Charlotte, this man is Robert Conway. He's been looking for you for days.
Are you okay, my dear? You're safe now. You don't need to be scared anymore. Catherine here is going to take good care of you.
I'll just be a moment. I'll come back. Don't worry. She hasn't said a word since we found her. She thought that Tony Morgan was her real father. She didn't even know that...
It doesn't bear thinking about.
So, what do we do now? She doesn't have a home.
Oh, that reminds me. Her real name is Sophie Marling. You can look through the papers or make some calls for that name over the past few years.
That's a great place to start. I imagine you'll want to come along and help.
No. Perhaps it's best to leave this up to the professionals.
I'd like it if you were by my side.
I'd like that too.